Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kradothlern and we are playing Minecraft version 121.5. Hoping to upgrade to point 0.7 pretty soon. And this is my survival series. Today we're on the End Island and we are trying to find out if it's possible to create a base here without killing the dragon. I mean, how cool would it be to have a live dragon flying over your base? Now my hope is to build a full base underground, just outside of the dragon's reach, which will allow her to roam around on top. We have that as kind of an ambience. Also unlimited access to dragon's breath. Oh, it looks like it's time to go. Meet me on the nether roof. Okay, so the first step to this plan is going to be making an easy access into the end. So right here on the nether roof, these should be the right coordinates. I'm going to build a portal, which should hopefully link us up to a space very near the end gateway. Let me get this built up here. Spawn proof the roof. There we go. Let's see, it needs steps to get up to it. And I think I'll throw one more on the back just so I can get rid of that extra block. And no, still needs one more thing. There we go. We got a lot of portals up here, so it's easier if we label them in portal. Alrighty, let me just grab my crafting table and we're going to see where this takes us. Okay, it looks like we're in the stronghold, although this is not where I wanted to put the portal. Okay, there's the fountain, so it should be right here. That's where I had it designated. So let me just break this one, and I'll spare you the 10 minutes of me pounding on obsidian. Let's just go ahead and light this guy up. And with any luck, this will take us right back to the portal we went through on the roof. And it looks like we're in luck. Okay, so easy access to the end portal. Step number 2 is figuring out how we're going to get back. If we don't kill the dragon, we don't get access to the portal on the island. And that means we're going to have to use a stasis chamber and a timer. So behind me you'll see my bamboo farm. It's also my sugarcane, melon, and pumpkin farm. But it uses a minecart running around a cycle to activate the pistons. I'm going to feed off of that as a base timer. Each cycle of the minecart will give a pulse to a hopper clock. Every pulse is going to distribute 2 items from the hopper into the chest. Once the hopper is completely empty, it'll send a signal through a comparator to trigger the trapdoors, which will then hit the ender pearls and call us home. It took me a few variations before I landed on this design, but in the end, it seems to work out pretty good. I originally had a redstone block being pushed by a piston to turn it on and off, but found a better way to do that. So we've got 2 stasis chambers set up here, but this is expandable. You can set up really as many as you want. So by default, I usually just load it up for 20 minutes, but I'm going to downgrade that here to 3 cycles just so we can test it real quick. So that's a total of 6 pieces, and that'll give us 3 cycles of the minecart. So this is the on-off switch as well as the link. Okay, so we got it turned on. We'll just will it cycle. There's 1. loop through. I probably should have just set it for 2. But here we are. So that's the second one. As soon as it comes around again and hits that detector rail, I should get teleported across the room. And it works. Okay, beautiful. So if you completely fill the chest, you're looking at about 2 hours, almost exactly 2 hours of time to do whatever you got to do before you get called home. You can set it for anything between, 4 minutes and 2 hours. 9 stacks will give you 40 minutes exactly. So 4.5 stacks will give you 20 minutes, and then you're home. And again, you can split this up as many times as you want and have half dozen people or more coming in at once. So now let's get into step 3 of my grand plan. Is we're going to do some serious terraforming here. This natural cave right off the platform will make a good place to start the base. I'm just going to tear into the mountainside here a little bit, give us access to the surface. I figured out that the pillars are exactly in line with the platform. So I'm just going to dig out to the first pillar, tunnel up, put a little water elevator in there, and then we'll have easy access to the surface. Also, shelter for collecting dragon's breath. There we go. Got a little entryway that we can find. I'm probably going to carve one in every side so it's easy access. Oh, looks like we got our first dose of dragon's breath. So let me expand this. We'll put lower slabs in to make it spawn proof for the Enderman, and more dragon's breath. So this is the main complication in building with the dragon active. So let's do a little terraforming time lapse. So about this point, I started to realize that there was a serious flaw in my plan. Unlike most of the mobs in the game, as far as I know, all the other mobs in the game, the Ender Dragon does not have collision detection. It can fly right through any solid object. So, roof over your head, not protection. So, plan B, find a friend, kill the dragon. Wait a second, what just happened? Rewind. I was at half health. I went to eat. And apparently that triggered all the ammo I had for the crossbow. So a quick re-equip and maybe a few incidents with Endermen, and we're back in the fight. Mitsu already has it down to 75%. And just like that, the dragon is dead. Now, somewhere in the middle, there may or may not have been an incident where I came back in without a helmet on, and I may have looked at an Enderman, and I may have died, and she may have died trying to keep me alive. But we're not going to dwell on hypotheticals, so we're just going to assume none of that ever happened. Mitsu got the kill, so she gets the egg. All we have to do is tunnel underneath it, place a torch, and she should be able to collect it. There we go. And that is a successful dragon run. The end is free, and I can start building my space station once again. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode. I hope you enjoyed the show. I honestly did not realize the dragon could fly through the island. It had never come up before. Apparently, it's only something that shows up when you're under the ground, which is kind of important since the entire base is going to be built under the ground. But I did look it up after the incident, and it is a game feature, not a bug. So I had to change my plans on how this was going to go. But next episode, I'll actually be building the base. The dragon's not going to be a problem anymore. And then we can start to explore the end and its completeness. I'll probably be doing some stuff in the overworld after that, though, because the end is been spending a lot of time there. But until then, I hope to see you again. Goodbye.